Welcome to Dubs Talk Live, presented by FIDE. The Warriors get a win on the road, their first one this season against an Eastern Conference team, and they got it with the help of a new career high for Jordan Poole. That's Monte Poole. I'm Kerith, Burke. We really need to talk about Jordan in this game because he also followed up his great game against the Sixers. What do you think? Yeah,
great second half. I mean, first half against Philly wasn't that good at all. But second half was tremendous. 21 points. He was efficient, and that was the key. I mean, he's not going to score 43 points in every game, and you don't expect that. You don't expect 30 points every game. But the efficiency tonight is crucial. I mean, 14 of 23 from the field, 5 of 11 from three. That's 46% from three, and that's almost 60% from two. So it's that's the kind of thing that you want to see. And if he's that efficient on a semi-consistent basis, it's huge. I don't think the Warriors look for him to score 40 or 35. But if he scores 22 points on, 12 shots, I think they'll take it every time.
I was going to mention the same thing, the efficiency, because sure, you can have a career night every night if you're going to take 30 shots and be a ball hog. That's not what you want from Jordan, but he shot 50% from the field against the Sixers, about 60% tonight. So the efficiency, there it is. That's the most important one. And I was wondering, do you think the Warriors looked at this game against the Raptors and thought, this is the moment we need to seize? Okay, we need one of these wins on the road, and here's an opponent that when we study the tape, we could probably get it done.
Yeah, this is the team that I guess was the most vulnerable of the teams they're going to see. You have the Raptors, the Knicks, and the Nets. The Knicks and the Nets have been playing well lately.
Yeah.
Raptors have not. So this is a team that they had a chance to take, and with Draymond's start and Jordan picking it up for the entire game, that was so crucial that they were able to do that. And I think one of the things that made a difference too is that Jordan got to 11 free throws.
Okay.
I mean, when you have one of those, whether it's Jordan or Steph or Andrew, when you have any one of your scorers getting to the line a lot, that tends to help their confidence, their flow, their rhythm.
Yeah.
As the coaches like to say, see the ball go in the basket one or two times.
Yes.
Then next thing you know, you're feeling it. And so to see him go to the line 11 times and make 10 of them because he's a top 90% free throw shooter, that's going to help. That helped him, I think. But just the fact that he was able to put together that kind of production on 23 shots is that's pretty amazing.
Just watch the ball go through the twine. Keep it simple. There you go. Jordan Poole talked post-game. Let's take a listen to Jordan on his career night with 43 points.
No, I feel like I was seeing the looks that I've been seeing. Got going early. Something that was really surprising was we were able to get to the free throw line a little bit more than we have. And that obviously makes a big difference, whether we're on that side or whether we're on the opposite side. So just trying to get easy baskets, trying to make the right plays and, just try to execute.
It's not that easy. Guys, step after the Milwaukee game, talked about it, almost being a mental thing now, and it's a good win for confidence. What does a win like tonight do for you guys with two more?
It's huge. Like I said, try to get the ball rolling. It's good whenever you can get a road win. Luckily, we got a couple more games, and if we can use this momentum and kind of roll that over to these next two games that we have against some good teams, will be huge for us going back home for our homestand. So we just got to continue to play with the energy that we have tonight and keep going.
What does that do for you guys in terms of energy, offensive confidence?
Yeah, it's good just to get him going, especially when they leave him so open. And he started off with 3 big threes, and he shot it with confidence. And after that, they kind of stepped up a little bit, which is a bit of a different coverage for him. But then that was easy for us to exploit the switches or the pick and roll game. And after that, it was all just kind of like a domino effect. And we're just really solid as a team, and we got to continue to play that way.
6 is the game. You guys hitting them, is there kind of a general sense of
I didn't know that until you just said it. Right. I mean, I guess if he hits 3 threes, if they win 46, 46 wins on 3 threes is a lot. So, I mean, if he can hit 3 threes again, we can make it 47. It'd be 50? What you mean? Oh, I thought you said 46 and 8. Look, if he hit 3 threes, if he hit 3 threes, we probably gonna win. So yes, hopefully he hit 3 threes. Yeah, R2.
Yeah, it's a question a little related with the last question. Have you with the new players developing, especially with that time without Steph now? Are you trying to change anything in your game, adding new things in the game? I don't know.
I mean, I'm always trying to find ways to learn and improve my game, whether it's on the court.
Yeah, in the game of the team.
Or the team? Yeah. I mean, I always try to find ways to learn. There's always things we can get better at. And I think that's, what we're going through right now, finding ways to just get incrementally better, night in and night out, and with or without Steph, find ways to continue to become a good team and just try to win games. So continue to learn, and we know how talented we are when we play the right way, and just try to find ways to continuously play like that.
First couple of years, really steady versus how important was it to do that, to get a little more steady playing time and some minutes. How did that
Yeah, I constantly say it's just good to go down there and just play. See what type of player you are, what type of player you want to be. Use it as live drill work is what I did. I went down there and I personally just knew that I could lead a team and, try to lead guys to wins and try to make other people better, and really attack that approach and just find ways to carry that over to whenever I was playing with the team now. And it's all perspective. It's never really like a demotion. It's just always an opportunity to continue to grow your game.
Great to hear from Jordan Poole after career night. And just to clarify, the statistic the reporter was asking about, it's that when Draymond hits 3 threes in a game, the Warriors are 49-6. So when Draymond had his threes going very early in the game, first 3 shots of the game, actually, there was a likelihood that the Warriors would win that one. You know what? I just got word that we got that video. Why don't we take a look? Because Draymond was on one to start this game. And actually, what this indicated to me was that the Warriors had a discussion. This goes back to, this one was circled on the calendar. We can win this game on the road, had to be their approach. And Draymond said, okay, let me help you. I'll be that guy.
Well, and Draymond also being aware that they were without Steph and without Andrew, he knows somebody else has to step up and provide some offense. And again, he wasn't going to go 35 points, but in the first quarter, he made enough shots to where the Raptors could not afford to ignore him anymore.
Hey, look at you. What'd you say? Draymond Curry. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Draymond started 5 of 5.
Yeah, and so, early in the game, the Raptors were ignoring him. Go ahead and shoot. And you make 3 of those, and all of a sudden, and like Jordan mentioned, the defense comes up with a different coverage then, because it's like, okay, we got to guard this guy right now because he's on one. And sometimes that makes a huge difference for the rest of the guys. No longer are they facing 5-on-4 defense, which happens a lot sometimes when Draymond won't shoot. But when he shoots and makes, all of a sudden all 5 defenders on the other team have to be on somebody. There's no more that guy just roaming the paint, waiting for Draymond to pass the ball and turn into a turnover. So I just thought that Draymond's early start helped the offense kind of find a rhythm and get going, and gave this team a lot of confidence.
Draymond spaces the floor when he hits those threes.
Everybody
benefits. Now, Draymond didn't play with that quad contusion in Philly. Do you think? I never want to call an injury a moment of rest because the guy's hurt. But that he can come back after not playing the last game and have a game like this, what does it say about his ability to lock in and how mumuch the Warriors needed this one?
Yeah, I think it was touch and go on Friday. So today, obviously, he felt better. And Steve said before the game, he's pretty sure he's going to play today, and he ended up obviously playing well. But when Draymond can come out and play in a game like this, where they had just lost the first 3 games on the road, and they know this is going to be a tough road trip, but they're looking at New York and looking at Brooklyn as the games 5 and 6 on this trip. This is game 4. This is the team that you think you can probably beat most easily, I should say. And so for Draymond, he's always thinking ahead. He's always thinking the game. And he's thinking, this ain't stealing a game. This is winning a game.
That's
they
right.
went and they won this game. So I think that was part of it too. So to see him come out there with that kind of fire from the start, just did so much, not only for the team, but also for himself. Just let him know that it's okay. Go out there and do your thing.
The Warriors will remember for the rest of the season how they had that 0-5 road trip. And if they started this one 0-3, they didn't want to go back to that house of horrors. And it's going to be tougher. They're playing without Steph. They're playing without Wiggins, but you could see the resolve to make sure tonight was different.
Yeah, and again, this was the team that they could this is the game that they could most likely take. I mean, the Knicks are not a great team, but they're playing well right now.
Yes.
The Nets are looking like the contender now that people thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. They're playing really well now. So you're looking at this, you do circle this one and say, okay, guys, let's go out and do what we have to do to win this game. At least we got something off this road trip and then going to New York. And hopefully if they split there, that's sort of salvaging what was really an awful start to a road trip.
There you go. All right, this game also special for Klay Thompson. The first time back in the building since the NBA Finals of 2019. We will review Klay's nights when Dubs Talk Live returns.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by FitAid, the #1 post-workout recovery drink in America. Try now and visit drinkfitaid.com.
Yeah, not an efficient night for Klay, but that's okay.
Yeah,
it wasn't a liability kind of night.
Right,
It wasn't like the
exactly.
Sixers night.
He took 14 shots, which you make 6. I mean, that's not great, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 43%.
Yeah.
And the other night, he was like 26% or 23%. So this is much better. And again, the key but look what he did though. He had 7 rebounds, which for Klay is tremendous, and 4 assists, which for Klay is tremendous. And so I mean, those are both above his average. So I mean, he did some good things to help this team win the game, even though he only scored 17 points. It was not highly productive, but it was fairly efficient, a lot more efficient than he was 2 days ago.
Yeah. All right. So we do want to talk Klay when we come back. Then I just got the word that we have Draymonds. Let me say hi to some folks on YouTube. Judy Ann, Rebel, Otis Bird, Catherine Gibson, Shannon D says she's watching from Wyoming.
Oh.
Hi everybody. How you doing? You're gonna. Oh, so there's no welcome back. It's just right into Draymond. Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about Klay.
All right.
All right, that sounds good. We have an aloha from Maui. Jenny and Craig, thank you so much for tuning in.
Wish I was there.
Yeah. Hey, we've got a comment in here said Kevon was big again tonight. That's right. His second straight double-double. Yes. He's on my notes to talk about if we have a chance. But
I believe it's the first time in his career that he had back-to-back double-doubles.
It is, yeah.
So you take that 11-11.
Good for him. Catherine says Kevon is the Warriors' whisperer. I love it. Straight to Draymond. Okay, thank you.
Felt good starting off, man. Felt real good. It's great, though. I think it kind of settled us in and allowed everybody else to get going. It was good. It's great to get off. That's crazy. I mean, it's been a while since I hit 3 straight threes, let alone 3 straight possessions. So, felt real good.
Rumble had a career high tonight. So what did you think about Zach Rumble?
I thought, like you just said, he was incredible on both sides of the ball. And when you connect a game like that, things go your way. We all know what a special talent he is. And, he's been going through some growing pains. And, to see him come out tonight and have the game that he had, especially with Steph, being down and, us needing to get a win, it was really huge. So it's great to see him play that way. And I thought his effort on the defensive end carried over to the offensive end. It's great.
You just said how you guys needed to get a win. I don't need to run through the record. But with Steph being out, Andrew's still not back. I mean, what does this win do for you guys just heading forward to 2 more on the road?
I mean, it's good to get that, first one under your belt on this road trip now. It provides a blueprint. Like, we know how we have to play, and shots aren't going to always go in the way they went in tonight. but we played good basketball. And usually when you play good basketball, the shots will reward you. And so I think if anything, it's a blueprint for how we need to play moving forward.
Your teams and your organization has always kind of been able to block out the noise and, come back and obviously, win another championship and things like that. And the Raptors right now are kind of in that funk where they're on that 5-game slide and there's a lot of noise. Sort of how have you found that you and your team have been able to do that over the years and stay so consistent?
You just got to stay committed to each other. You'll start hearing noise about trades and this guy shouldn't be here and that guy shouldn't be here, but you have to stay committed to each other. You can't let the outside noise dictate how you act or essentially your attitude towards the game and more importantly towards your teammates, and so I think for us, you just always want to recenter yourself and recenter your focus to the game. And if you do that, the game rewards you. The talk stops and you're allowed to do what you set out to do, which is enjoy playing basketball.
Draymond, you guys have struggled a lot to score the basketball without step on the floor this season. What was different tonight? What allowed you guys?
I think we really moved the ball well. We didn't take tough shots. We moved the ball well, and we got good looks, and we have good shooters. So you move the ball, you get great shooters, good looks, and, those shots will fall. And so I think, we ended up with 17 turnovers, but 6 turnovers in the first half really allowed us to get our rhythm, allowed us to get out in transition and run. And, then you see a couple shots go in and changes everything.
Anything particular with Jordan?
All right, 17 points for Draymond Green. And real quickly, I just looked up, was that his season high? It is not his season high. It was 19. But Draymond, when he sat down at that podium and you could see his smile, he's like, yeah, I felt good tonight. Okay, we're getting a Draymond game.
Yeah, I mean, and when you get those games, the Warriors are, like you said, they're not unbeatable, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's really hard to beat them when Draymond is out there making threes. And for him to do it on a night when they didn't have Steph or Wiggs was huge. All
right, we promised you a Klay Thompson chat. He struggled in that game against the Sixers, but you could see that this meant something for Klay Thompson, this game right here in Toronto. He shared some things on Instagram that he was excited to go back. First time in Toronto since 2019, the NBA Finals. You guys know how that series ended, but Klay played an all-star game here on this floor. He won the three-point contest in 2016, and Klay wanted to do better in this building coming off that rough game.
Absolutely. And when you shoot 4 of 17, and after that game, I remember him sitting on the bench by himself for just a little while. Everybody else was gone, and he wasn't there for like 8 or 10 minutes. He was there for maybe a minute, but he was by himself. And you can see him just kind of reflecting on the game and how he had played and everything. That's how Klay is. And so tonight, obviously, this was a situation where he wanted to come out and put on a good show. Now, 6-14 from the field is not great, but, it's 43%, which is a mile better than what he had against the Sixers when he shot 23%. I thought what was more important tonight, though, was just the way he played. He played smart basketball. He had 7 rebounds, which is a lot for Klay.
Yes.
He had 4 assists. That's a lot for Klay.
He had 0 in the last game.
Yeah. So you can tell that this was a game that meant something to him. And so the effort was there, the energy was there. And whenever Klay does that, even if he doesn't score the ball at a high rate, it's still good for the Warriors.
He is an emotional player.
Yeah.
And he's invested in having a better game after a rough game. I think I saw something from I believe it was a Toronto Sun reporter who was in the arena late after practice, and he noticed from way up high that Klay was on the floor by himself. He was just kind of visualizing things, running through things. It's like, okay, Klay Thompson's going to bring a different perspective to this game. Yeah. I like that side of Klay.
That's how he is. That's how he is. I've seen him. And you know what? The Warriors have a lot of guys like that who will look at a poor game and want to do something immediately after to do something about that. I remember Jordan had a really bad game this season, and a home game. And an hour after the game was over, guess where he was? On the practice court, firing up shots, putting Chris DeMarco to work, one of the Warriors' assistant coaches. And I'm thinking, okay, this is Jordan. That's his drive because he just played a poor game. Yeah. And he's like, okay, he shot it poorly. I'm going to go out and take 100 shots after the game. Yeah. And he did.
Well, it's something that teammates need to see too. And it's not performative to do this. It's just if everybody's talking about being better, getting better, you owe that to your teammates too.
Yeah. And in Klay's case, as a veteran on this team, for him to come out to show that kind of investment and then to come out on the floor in this game and play, he didn't come out hunting shots.
Yes, that's the difference,
he was the last starter to score in this game. Other guys were scoring and the Warriors were off to a great start, and he wasn't like, give me the ball, I need to score 2. It wasn't like that. He was just going with the flow until he got a shot. And that's what you want to see from Klay. When he does that and just lets the game come to him like Jordan did today, and Jordan did in the second half against the Sixers. it's funny how when you do that, let the game come to you, and rather than trying to force things, it kind of tends to work out.
Well, hasn't Steve Kerr talked about that a little bit, whether you want to call it basketball gods or whatever? The game rewards you when you do the right thing.
Yeah,
so?
it's a thing where you just look at guys who, when Jordan tries to force things, what happens? Turnovers.
Yeah.
He dribbles into traffic, and next thing you know, he's stuck somewhere, and the ball goes the other way. And when Clay goes too far, when he starts shot hunting, what happens? He misses shots. And he takes shots, he takes decent shots when maybe a teammate had a better shot. Tonight, again, he had have more assists. Well, he had 4 assists and 6 shots that he made.
Yeah.
So usually with Clay, it's more like 10 shots he made and maybe 1 or 2 assists.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this was Clay letting the game and playing within a team framework and scoring 17 points in just a mild, quiet way.
Yeah. Hey, while we're in that assist column, I see 6 right there for Dante DiVincenzo. Added 5 points. He had a huge game in Philadelphia. There's somebody else who kind of knows his role and knows how to feel the game a little bit. He's been great on the boards. Only 1 tonight, though, but he had 10 against the Sixers. Dante is looking like an excellent pickup for the Warriors.
No doubt about it. I mean, I tell you what, though, Dante's 1 rebound was they needed a rebound.
Yes.
The Raptors had like 44 consecutive shots, getting second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh and eighth shots. And Dante said, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, we're done with this.
Yeah.
Our ball.
Yeah, and he went up and got one. So,
Yeah.
But the thing about Dante, and also I thought JaMychal Green was great tonight. You know, 15 points for JaMychal, very efficient. The Warriors brought these 2 guys in, Dante and JaMychal, as veterans off the bench. And tonight, again, you know, they played well. So you look at what Dante did and you look at what JaMychal did, they gave him 20 points. They did it on 12 shots, you know. And so for those guys, they had 8 rebounds, 7 assists. That's the kind of thing you want to look for because they need those guys to perform well. They're not spectacular, just be solid and stable because that way they can offset some of the kids on that bench. And guys like Kuminga and Moody and Wiseman, whenever he plays. I mean, just having those guys there as vets off the bench is huge.
Some of those kids didn't play a lot of minutes in this game, which is a little interesting. Looking at JaMychal, though, he was 5 of 7, had 15 points, and there were 5 Warriors in double-digit scoring. Because the big question is, where are they going to get the offense when Steph is out, when Wiggins is out? But they have it. They had it tonight.
Well, I thought a lot of their offense was generated off defense.
Okay.
This was one of their best defensive games of the season. I think maybe their best defensive game on the road this season. They held the Raptors to 40% or under in the first quarter. Did it again in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Did it again in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And how many times have we heard them talk about we need to put a whole game together? You know, we have a good half here, a good half there. I mean, I've heard Steve Kerr say it a dozen times this year. We need to figure out a way to put 48 minutes together. They didn't go 48, but they didn't need to because their lead was so big that the last quarter, finally, when the Raptors shot over 50%, the game was almost out of reach, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, if there's a 20-point lead or a 22-point lead, it's okay if you don't win that fourth quarter, I would say. You can throw in a few of the guys, for a couple minutes here and there. All right, so can the Warriors build on this? Let's talk about that schedule. We got a back-to-back coming up. Dubstock Live, presented by Fit Aid, returns in a moment.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by Fit Aid, the #1 post-workout recovery drink in America. Try now and visit drinkfitaid.com.
The other night, Laura was doing the show.
Yeah.
And she was saying this, she was like, this show goes by really fast. I go,
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's like, we got 2 minutes left or 90 seconds left or whatever. It's like, okay.
I caught some of the show. She did a good job. You did a good job as well. But I'm saying for somebody who has to fill in,
She did
a good job.
Yeah.
Oh. Rebel wants to know, the real question is, who can the Warriors get to fill the last open roster spot? What do you think the Warriors will do with that spot?
I don't necessarily think that the Warriors are looking at that open roster spot and saying they have to fill it.
They might not fill it.
Yeah, they might not fill it. What they would like to have happen is a couple things. One, get Steph back healthy, obviously. 2, get Andre healthy enough to where he can play some regular season games before they get to the postseason. And if you're the Warriors, you don't want to get to the postseason and you don't want to be in the play-in game.
Yeah.
You want to get into the postseason. You want to be one of the top 4, top 5, top 6. You don't want to be in that 7 to 10 bracket at all. So the way they are right now, they're looking like a play-in team. But if things break right for them, they will find a way to get into the top 6, and they'll take that. If they're a 6th seed, they'll take that every time, I think.
Yeah, Warriors 15 and 16 right now, so a nice win for them. They really needed this one on the road, but they are below a 500 average, and it's not easy when Steph is out.
They knew that. They knew that. I mean, when you have an offense that's designed around one guy, when he's not there, everything is a little chaotic, a little different. But Jordan tonight was a tremendous substitute for Steph.
Thought so too. Road trip results, all right. Welcome back to Dubs Talk Live, presented by Fit Aid. Here is the schedule. The Warriors have tomorrow off in New York City, and then a back-to-back against the Knicks and Nets. The Knicks, winners of 7 straights. The Nets, winners of 6 straights. KD and Kyrie tonight, 43 points and 38 points, respectively. So still one of the best duos in the NBA, coming on a little bit stronger after a tough start to the season. Okay. Monte.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, what we got?
All right. I'm not even sure. Like the New York games are going to be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even a question. Sorry, I need to do better as a host to set you up. But
you knew that the Nets game was going to be tough because you got KD out there and you got Kyrie out there. The Knicks you didn't know about until recently.
Yeah.
You know, the Knicks first month of the season were like, oh, it's looking like trash out there. But the last couple of weeks, it's like they found something and they're playing well. Actually, you know, Julius Randle's starting to play better. And that was a big part of who they are. And if he's playing well, the team tends to kind of follow that a little bit. Jalen Brunson, who came over from Dallas, he's picking it up.
Yeah.
Those two guys have played every single game, back-to-back, 3 and 4 nights, whatever. They play every single night.
Thibodeau style.
Yeah, and they play big minutes, you know, so they might play 39 minutes on back-to-back nights, you know. He doesn't care. So, but whatever it is, it's starting to work for them now, and the Knicks are starting to play like a real NBA playoff team right now. So it's going to be tough. But, and I think for the Warriors, man, they're going to miss not having Steph at Madison Square Garden.
I know, the place to reset the 3-point record. Hey, still, fun things happen at the Garden. One thing I'm looking at for the Nets game, though, if there's no Steph, still no Wiggins, and perhaps no Clay on the second night of a back-to-back, that's really tough.
Woo! Do you want to think about that even?
No, I don't. One game at a time. I believe that's the expression. So, all right, the Warriors got their first road win against an Eastern Conference team. They showed what they can do when they play good defense, how that leads to offense. All right, we'll talk about it more on Dubs Talk, the podcast. Thanks for joining us. All right, and we're on YouTube. Catherine wants to know what's going on with Wiseman. James Wiseman played 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
He played, you know, the just call it
Garbage
garbage time. Garbage
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
garbage time.
Why not in this game?
Well, I mean, if you're winning a game comfortably without him, you could have 2 ways. You can say, well, we can put him out there now to see how it goes, you know, give him some experience in a game like this. Or you can say, let's just keep going with what we have. And obviously, Steve Kerr chose the latter decision. You know, I don't know if there was more to it than that. But it would have been nice to see him out there because, you know, he's built a lot like those Raptors are. The Raptors are a team of like a lot of long, slim, long, lanky guys with big, with long arms. But the Warriors still, I mean, the rebounding was close. You know, they were -1 in rebounding. They played such great defense, though. And I think if you put Wiseman out there, it was an opportunity for him to be a part of that great defense. Or it could be an opportunity or a chance for the defense not to play as well as it would have been without him. Because it's a little, when you put in someone who hasn't been out there in this game, it can change things a little bit. I mean, you see J.K. Kuminga played 5 minutes.
I noticed that.
So, yeah, this wasn't against anything against either one of those guys, but the other guys were playing pretty good basketball, and I think the Warriors the coaching staff surely knew how important this game was to win.
Yeah, I think, though, with a 20-point lead that you've built, you know, you had that in the first half, you had it in the third quarter, you had it at the start of the fourth quarter. With that kind of cushion, if maybe the Warriors could absorb a little bit more, you know, some of the mistakes from the young guys, I was surprised they didn't play as much.
To a degree. What you don't want to have happen, though, is to put Wiseman out there with a 20-point lead and have that lead shrink to like 12 in like 3 minutes while he's out there. there.
No,
and that would be looked at as a setback.
That would be looked at. Wiseman did this, and that's a tough spotlight on a kid.
It's not him. It wouldn't be him. But
yes.
He was on the floor when the defense all of a sudden got softer.
Yep.
And you don't want that. So it's a tough call. I think the importance of winning this game trumped everything.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because this is one game. This was the game, being that if they lost in Indiana, this was the game you can say the Warriors have a good chance to win the game if they play the right way. And they played the right way on offense and on defense, I thought, and that got them the win.
All right. Thank you very much, Monte. Thank you all on YouTube. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back soon for that back-to-back. Bye, everybody.